Hello everyone, welcome to me. I'm Shiva Wilson and this is my channel Legalising Flower in the UK. Recreational flower, that is. It's already been legalised medically. Now I want to do a bit of a debate again, but this time it's between two different people, so I'm going to imagine two different people. One's a prohibitionist and one's a legalisation advocate called Sarah. Prohibitionist, is called Sarah, and the legalization advocate is called David. They actually happen to be the names of my aunt and uncle, but I don't know. ChatGPT generated this for me, and they've happened to pick the names of my aunt and uncle. Anyway, there you go. So, legalizing flower in the UK, video number 8. The Great Green Debate. A prohibitionist versus legalization advocate in the UK. Setting: a packed lecture hall at a London university, buzzing with anticipation. Two figures stand behind lecterns, facing a sea of students. Prohibitionist, this is Sarah. Good evening everyone, I'm Sarah, and I believe flower should remain illegal. Its harmful effects on individuals and society are undeniable. It's a gateway drug, leading to harder substances and addiction. It impairs cognitive function, impacting education and employment. We must protect our youth, not expose them to this dangerous substance. And the legalisation advocate steps up. Good evening, I'm David and I believe the UK should legalise flower. It's time we move away from failed prohibition and embrace a sensible approach. Flower is less harmful than alcohol, yet we allow its sale and consumption freely. The current prohibition only fuels black markets, criminal activity, and harms individuals through unnecessary arrests and convictions. Sarah says, you claim flower is less harmful than alcohol, but that's simply not true. It's proven to cause psychosis, anxiety, and memory problems. Think of the impact on our children, their education, and their future. David says, the link between flower and psychosis is complex, and many studies suggest the risk is actually exaggerated. Furthermore, we can learn from other countries like Canada and Uruguay, Germany, South Africa now as well, who have successfully implemented legal flower markets, generating tax revenue and reducing crime. Actually, in South Africa, they don't have a legal flower market. They've just decriminalised personal possession, I think. You have to look into that yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah says, you mentioned tax revenue, but what about the cost of addiction treatment? The burden on our healthcare system will skyrocket. We must focus on prevention, not promote recreational use. David says, legalisation allows for regulated production, controlled sales, and age restrictions, ensuring quality control and preventing access to minors. And we can use tax revenue to fund addiction treatment and public education campaigns. This is a responsible, evidence-based approach. Sarah says, you talk about responsibility, but flower is inherently irresponsible. It undermines personal responsibility and encourages a culture of apathy. Lazy stoners. We need to protect our society from the dangers of this drug. David says, I disagree. A responsible adult should have the right to choose what they consume, just like they do with alcohol or tobacco. By criminalising flower, we create a situation where people are more likely to use it in unsafe environments and without access to accurate information. Sarah says, but this isn't just about individual choice. It's about the well-being of our society. Legalization would send a dangerous message to our young people, undermining our values and leading to a more permissive society. David says, we can't keep pushing this issue under the rug. It's time to have an honest conversation about flower. The evidence shows that prohibition has failed. Let's move towards a future where flower is treated responsibly, where it's regulated, taxed, and used safely. The debate continues, the audience engaged, opinions divided. The future of flower in the UK remains uncertain, a reflection of the complex and controversial issue at hand. So there you go. I think they both make some good arguments, David and Sarah. Obviously, I agree with David. I think some of Sarah's arguments are a bit outdated and based on reefer madness. However, she does make a good point about being proven to cause psychosis. But then David says that the link between flower and psychosis is complex. And actually, there's a recent study that says that the link between psychosis and flower is not as strong as they first suspected it to be. So you can look that up on Google. And there you go. So what a big debate, very passionate debate there. And I'm going to reiterate David's point. I think that the evidence shows that prohibition has failed. Let's move towards a future where flower is treated responsibly, where it's regulated, taxed, and used safely. So, in final summary, legalise recreational flower in the UK. Thanks very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Shiva Wilson. You've been marvellous. Good night.